Hello there, James here. Titled this. Heard a guy speak on this earlier about people who the way that the way they talk and the way they speak, and I want to address this issue about talking white and talking proper and what is it's interpreted as. You know, it's funny. Um, damn if you do, damn if you. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. When I was growing up, you know, my grandmother stayed in the local projects, and I came from a working class family, and you know, going from work class family to a different environment, your environment tends to change. You start in the inner city, and your mother, your parent gets a better job. They move to a better income neighborhood, and just so you move to a better neighborhood. So in the process, what you go from one environment to another environment, and whatever your environment is, you become that environment. The way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you corral, and the way your outlook is different. And so everything about you change because the kind of people you're around and what kind of environment you're around, it means a lot. So how the way you conduct yourself. And the reason why I titled this because this is coming against the stereotype of some of black people in our community in our community that has a tendency to say this thing that they make you feel guilty that you're not intelligent because I mean you're supposed to act a certain way. I heard a gentleman speak on this earlier, and I usually pay attention to his videos. He called himself Fearless Grunt, and he made a good point how about it was certain topics about his own personal experiences, his kids' personal experiences, and his grandkids' personal experiences. And I can recall, when I was young, it was like that. When I was in the city, basically, like most kids, you get picked on because you're different. It's something about you that's different about you, the way you conduct yourself. And sometimes it's not easy being wanted. So even though you might start out in an inner city black neighborhood, you might go to, where you might feel outcast because something in you might be marked or be destined to be great or something or set apart. And a lot of time people can't accept that. That's in and when they live in the poor, impoverished neighborhood, and where you have most of the folks that look like you, because they think that you're trying to be something that you're really not. And it's just that a lot of happens to do with your own personal upbringing, the way your parents brought you up, in an environment that you have set and moved in. And I've always had the balance. There's always been a balance in my life where I never, where I can relate to poverty as well as being in the area where it's the suburbs, so I can relate to both sides. And that's what makes it balanced because it makes a balance of justice. But it seems like when you get to a certain degree level, the way how you speak, if you sound like you've been into the suburbs, some people mistakenly think that you're trying to be better than them. It is not that you're trying to be better than them. It's just that it was because your environment is what it is, where you come from and where your parents raised you, and so your friends, new friends that you make along the way, and so you become that environment. But nevertheless, you do go through something on the outskirt, which is your skin complexion, and which some people can adjust their mentality and their reality around that. So, some people don't like that, don't understand. Just because some people go to suburbs, don't mean that everybody's gonna go up there and look down upon somebody because some to a certain degree they're gonna go through some trials and tribulation being an African American person, being a black person from America, and so I can I can testify to this, that you go through something just because you in the better neighborhood, but just because the way you speak, but as soon as you speak, as soon as you arrive up on the scene, people don't see how the way you speak, they see what they perceive for you to be. It's not the way you, until you open up your mouth and basically open up your mouth and really have a dialogue with them, a discussion with them, and everything. And so that's one of the things I know. But then it's a sad thing that you have some people who are in impoverished neighborhoods that don't want to get out of, that they're scared to be a part and exchange themselves, because if they leave the neighborhood, they think that something's going to be taken away from them. But all is it doing is that you go into a better environment and you kind of leave the bad environment, which people are causing chaos, havoc, and people cussing at each other and just berating one another in every dysfunctional kind of way. And so it's really sad that that's one of the things that black people have among each other, that some black people have among each other. They just can't accept that there's a reality outside of the hood, outside the neighborhood. There's some people don't understand that, and that you program with the rest of the people in the community to think this way, talk this way, speak this way, respond this way, and act this way. And sometimes when you set yourself apart, people think that you, in their own jealousy and their own mind, that you're being better, or you think that you're good. It's not that you're thinking that you're good. It's just that there's something in the being that know that you want something better for your life, and you don't want to follow the negative path that other people have gotten. So, however, your personality and your charisma might carry you places that will take you to a whole different world and everything. And that was the case that I know is what I've encountered out there, in leaving from the city, going to the suburbs and things like that. And along the way, I would I remember one time I was online and I was describing who I was, because I was looking for a date, and I had this just because I'm from I'm transitioning from one environment to another environment. You have some black females, and this don't apply to all black females, but this particular black female just come out of the woodwork and say, after hearing my description, and say, you're not a black guy. Why don't you talk like you white? Stop sounding like you white. And why are you talking like that? Trying to dictate to you. And I said, I responded back and said, I dictate who I wanted, however I wanted to dictate. Just because you act like you don't have no intelligence, why you even respond to me? If I'm not your type of if I'm not your type of black dude, why you even respond to me? And I think that it was kind of odd for someone to say something like that. Okay, if you want someone that speak slang or whatever, which have you, and which is a bunch of people who's cursing and cussing and using certain robotic words, whatever, that just to make themselves seem like they from the streets, whatever. And I mean, if that's naturally that's them, then that's their persona. But that's not my persona. That's not my personality. I'm just trying to track the woman that somebody who is intelligent, and somebody, it don't necessarily means that someone has to be well-rounded, a doctor degree person. It's just a person with common sense enough to know that when you come across people in this world, that you're gonna have people that are different than you, and whether they are a different shade of color or the same shade of color, how else you gonna communicate with other people? And it's just the same thing that when you have some African Americans, black people in this country, when every time you try to rise yourself up out of the situation, you got some oddball saying some stupid stuff like that to you. Like, really? I mean, why don't you open up your mind and you can tell that They come from a neighborhood which they got a mind like a rat. They got to basically, this is all what they know. This is what they see on video. This is what they see on TV. And this is what they say, think that this is what black culture is all about, which is not really not African American culture whatsoever. African American culture is a lot more, different than what the mainstream media wants you to believe. I mean, I mean, when you think the inventors and black, coming from Americans, as far as black Americans in this country, we're inventors, and some of us are scientists. Some are unique and gifted and talented in sports and music and inventions and different things. And why do you have to be limited to certain things? But today, people, and it's not that so-called, ignorant people who are from other nationalities and think like this. You got some black people believe that the same thing as the ones who are ignorant, because they project themselves out to be that way, that they can't be something greater than what they're supposed to be, because what you say and what you speak on must be something. It's kind of an oddball. It's kind of ignorant. And as if you ain't calling another black man the N-word or whatever, then you ain't keeping it real. If you ain't cursing God's name using G damn, then you ain't keeping it real, because that's all. And that's one of the cuss words we use. And that's probably one of the reasons why some of us don't have no blessings coming through, because we always condemning God's name, and we always blaspheming the name. Then we blaspheme people who are look like us. And because yes, say that we keep it real, but at the same time we blaspheme it, in which we speak a curse upon each other when we call each other the N-word, and don't even know that you have people that say, well, the N-word is so invincible. Why would you take an N-word that you try to culturalize and put the N-word to describe your people among your people, and then you put it on a rap video or comedy special or something like that? That's not keeping it real. That's just keeping it ignorant. You basically, if you project yourself as ignorant, people are gonna treat you like you're ignorant, and it's the truth. However, you can't get mad if you whatever you portray yourself as, whatever you reflect yourself as a person, you can't have demand respect, and you come from an ignorant culture. It doesn't work that way. It's just, and that's, I know it's going, but I'm getting back to the topic. But that's how some people portray themselves. They think that by projecting ignorance that you're gonna get respect. No, you're not gonna go. It's only gonna go so far and go so fair. But anyway, but after that, go on a dating site and basically describing who I was and what I want and everything. It's just, that was a really turn off. And so a lot of times, this people, because black people always ask, well, how come we can't stick together? This is among black people, African Americans. Why do some men don't pick some women, and some black men don't pick black women? And it's because of statements like that, like, why are you talking proper? It's like, why we're black people. It's almost like the ignorant folks think that just because they have dysfunctional fight drama and carry out where the police come in and arrest people, some black people think that that's part of being a culture. Some black people do that. The ones that think ignorantly think like that. So therefore, you get the cops come kicking down your door or whatever, and arrest you up and roughen you up, whatever. But it's what they portrayed on TV, and sadly to say, some black people fall right into the stereotype. Some black people do. They fall right into the stereotype, and then justify for why they doing it. So that's why some people perceive you as the way you are. And I have been around people from different cultures, and basically when they first come to this country, individuals I've come across, they were really impressed how the way I spoke, and the way how I was able to hold the conversation, and basically I was able to greet them, because I wanted to show about my people in this country that have been here since the time of slavery, that we have advanced in the way we communicate and the way we do things. But you got some black people that just ignorant as hell, and if from what I've heard, certain stories, like the one time, it was this one guy. He came from a different part of on the other side of Russia somewhere. It is one of the countries that next to Russia, and he had to work with a black guy. And the black guy this dude must be sound like he's from the hood because half the stuff that they had to work together, and the guy was saying some stuff to him that here the guy is trying to understand English for one thing. Secondly, he's trying to communicate. Then you trying to throw your slang on something that he don't hardly ever. I don't know what the heck you talking about. So you have to. So therefore, it's like, why is he talking like this? Is this the way they usually talk? That some of these Black Americans are usually talking. It's like until he had to come across me, and I had to meet him. Till I had to meet him halfway and say, hey, bro, there's some Black people in this country. We do talk like we got some damn sense. Unfortunately, you get a few ones that don't act like they don't talk like they ain't got a lick of English, and they ain't sound like they scared to use something that they was taught in school. And it's just that it's the truth, and you don't have to be really college educated. It's just common sense. It sounds like you articulate, intelligent. You got some people who's not have never been to college that have more intelligent. Is what is your persona, what you have kept alongside of you. And it's just that it was sad that it's like, good thing he had to come across an individual like me that I can communicate with him about, just everyday life and everything. Because here he's speaking English and everything, but I'm basically is the communication because he also speaks a couple other languages, and therefore, and I'm glad as a Black person I represent the rights. It's like because hopefully the next Black person you come across that we do have intelligence, despite what's going on. But you have some people, some ignorant individuals, because they see the rap videos or some stuff like that they got this conjunction, and they don't know how other people as a whole. Some people do because that's their first impression. Whatever people that they meet, they get that first impression from, and basically it's the truth. And so it was, he was really impressed out of the way of talking. I said, hey, I'd be glad to sit down and have a conversation with any individual, basically trying to, relate to English until they communicate to the next person who's trying to speak into a different language. And that could be with somebody from, not just from someone coming from some part of outskirts of Russia somewhere, but somebody can be coming from South America to Africa. It's that the American Black person have some sense of intelligence, and it's that, and this is sometimes we struggle against our own people trying to see that we are intelligent, but you got some people that want to portray us like we ain't intelligent, and that's a freaking lie, because we are very intelligent people once you sit down and talk to us. And it's just that it's the biggest thing so luckily I've had that culture exchange with different people, and living in the suburb helped me that. And that's how you're able to get forward, get a job, get your apartment, or move advanced ahead in life. You can't act ghetto, or they say act, I wouldn't say act ghetto, act ignorant, and think that an ignorant genre of yourself is gonna get you ahead, which is gonna get you one way. He's gonna keep you in the gutter than what you already are, because people feel like if they hear how the way you talk, that's how the way they basically gonna see you as. And I'm glad from my personal experiences that I've talked to different individuals across. I haven't really been around outside the United States other than Canada, but in different states in the United States. But I'm glad I've come across individuals that come to this country, and I'm able to, God bless me, because I'm able to have that dialogue with them, that communication with them, to have some of understanding about their culture and some what they come from, and to meet them halfway. That's the main thing about communication. And it's the same thing that you're able to communicate. And as you got some of our people don't know how to properly communicate with people, and it's just the truth. How you can be proud to be black, but how can you be proud to be black when you have to communicate with your African brother who may not understand, that he's trying to communicate with you, you in the same skin color as he is. He's trying to understand where you coming from, and you come with some jib job talk, and he don't understand what the hell you talking about. And I'm and which, you know, we had a common goal. When a society they see you as two people of the same color, but of the same origin, hue and origin, and everything. But here is a separation because the way you express yourself and the way you talk, whatever. And I can't stand to be around ignorant individuals. That I want these kind of individuals. I don't have As I get older, I don't want to be around stupid ass people. You know what I mean? I want to be around ignorant people. Uh, I seen it. My mother was around. I'm married to a man that he's deceased now. That he was in the streets and he come out of prison. And you know how some people, when they regret something, yeah, they let you know about the history and what they did. But I've never seen someone come out of their environment bragging about the environment. That is like they don't have no remorse on what they did. They don't have no remorse on their street life. And in fact, they come back and try to restart the street life what they left 30 years ago in the street, and they don't want to move on. They come right back to the same neighborhood of people, and it's like, here my mother's side, my mom and her side of the family, we always been working people. We've always been a working class of people. We start out poor, but we able to excel and able to advance and everything. And I have some aunts and people who have been in school and college, and our environment was raised a bit different. But it's like with my mom, it was like she wanted to go. I don't know why. She's like, some women out there, they believe it's like, I gotta go not only pick a man, but pick a man that's dysfunctional, that don't want to come out of his dysfunctional environment, and really be like, put you like a father figure around you. You know what I'm saying? Stepfather, father figure. And some of you know what I'm talking about out there. But it's just crazy, man. It's just, and you don't want to be in that environment. You don't want. Well, what I mean that dysfunctional, I mean, you have meet people that's going in out of jail, going out of prison. I mean, there's fight, there's shooting, there's drama, and someone's trying to have that aggressive persona and personality around you. And I just didn't want to be around it, man. I've always hustled. I've always worked hard, and I've always done it the right way. I never was the type of person to be around somebody that's doing some shady stuff on how to get some stolen merchandise, to do some crazy stuff like that. I've always been an individual that if I had to scrub toilets or something like that to make a couple bucks under the table, I would. That's the kind of person I am. I mean, and it'd I rather do an honor than it let someone be embarrassed not only embarrass me, but embarrass someone that represent me and my family. And I really am big on that. That you represent yourself, and you represent your people, your family, and all those who know you, associate with you. And I don't like to be around that. I'm a kind of person. I don't like to be around that kind of environment. I want to be around people that want to come, that have a better environment. Because then when you have a better environment, you want to do better. You don't want to take the bad environment, speak like the bad environment, bring that environment that you speak on, the way you hear in the streets, bring it with you, because it's going to taint whatever it is in the good environment. And it's the truth. You can't take two things. You can't have good walking with evil. That's just, evil is evil and good is good. And some people, they like entertaining with like that. They want their bad, but they want their good. No, I want to get away from the bad, and I want to be around the good. I want peace, humility, and humbleness in my life. And sometimes you can't be around some people that look like you, like myself, because some people that think that's dysfunctional. They're like, that's unheard of to have a normal regular life. It's got to be fighting chaos. is like, shooting at somebody and curses out somebody and running out of someone's jail or prison and things like that. That's something that I ain't down for, and I never was really down for. And when my father was alive, he didn't want me around that environment because he's seen that environment himself. As a son, he wants something better for me, and I've always stuck with that. And any individuals that was around, he would kind of get discourage me not to go around him, and I've always stuck my guns with that. Since as I till I'm at the age I am now, and it's just sad that when it comes to Black people, we have to think that we can't keep it real unless it's ignorant, which is aggressively ignorant. And some of us is like some, not all of us, but some of us is like that. It's the truth. And so you try to want the good life. Now you think you're being too better and passive because you want a better life. You don't want no one fighting and arguing and calling the neighbors up, calling the police on you. And you might live in some apartment complex. They'd be ready to kick you out because you acting like a nut or whatever. And that you want these people that carry that kind of chaos, and you have people that do, and that carry that chaos with them. And I mean, it's just, that's not living. That's not really, because they bring that kind of traffic, and you have some people that bring the type of traffic that people got nothing to do all day. We got a bunch of grown people all day long. They have no life whatsoever. They sit on the corner. They could be 30s, 40s, 50s into the 60s, and they ain't doing nothing productive in their life. They're not working nowhere. They're drinking up. They smoking weed all day long, and they doing the same old thing and the same old hustle, and they gonna die the same old hustle. And it's sad to leave this world. It's like, what did you do? What did you accomplish? But just because being a gangster, being a thug, ain't no reward in heaven. It's not gonna be no reward. It ain't gonna be really no honor in the earth when you don't do something that's right. Maybe in the streets, sometimes people tell you like you used to be, but you still won't have no honor as far as heaven is concerned. And that's keeping real right there. So every individual has a point in life they have to change. They have to change it, but starts up here the way you change your mindset. And it's too many of our people don't like to change their mindset. That, I think that's the greatest fear. A lot of Black people don't want from this country. Some of us don't like to change our mindset, because just because you don't have to be the N word, that you put it in the language that was brought up by a bigot, by a racist, and you speak it over your people, and you become the N word that you are. And that's the truth. You become the N word what you are. You become the shiftless, the lazy, the incompetent person that you are. Because that's basically what the N word was basically designed to do. And so when you hear in the inner city, and that's what the youth is calling each other. And needless to say, words are powerful. So whatever you speak, whatever you say, the words that you say is very powerful, and you always have to think about the words that you tell, speaking over people, and speaking over your children, speaking over your friends, speaking over your family, because words are powerful. They take form. They do take life. And when you go into a background like that, you see it take life over people. You see that they stay stationary in their own environment. It's like, why do they have? And it was never meant for you to be the N word. It was made for you to prosper. Black people are not the N word. There's something magnificent and great about Black people, unique about Black people. It's too bad some Black people can't see it. Other people can see it, but you have some Black people that just call each other the N word all day long. They speaking a curse over each other, and never think about what the word they said that come out their mouth. That's the truth. That's the God's own truth, and like any other group of people. But I'm particularly addressing this, and so you speak different because you go into a different environment. You come across all walks of life of people. So your mindset, as you come from the poverty into a better scenery, your whole persona changes about you because the type of people you associate, the type of friends you associate, and everything. And it's sad. And then people, and the reason why some people don't come back to the ghetto because there's some people that don't want to change. There's some people that don't and there's some people that do don't want to stay. They're comfortable staying and they dysfunctional. And there's some people that who are poor and say, "Hey, I'm ready to make a change. I want something better. I want something better for the life of my family. I want something better life. I don't want to live like this." There's some people that's inner city that want a better life, but fortunately their circumstances speak otherwise. Maybe because the income, maybe because most of the time it's the income. And so when you live in an inner city where there's a lot of violence and stuff like that, that's your environment. And you know some people can't help that, but it's really sad you have people that you can't be your own individual as a black person when it comes to your own people. Other people understand where you're coming from, but when it comes to some of your own people, you can't be your own people. Not in this country, in certain places. Not when you live in certain areas in the city. You can't be your own individual. They don't want you to be your own individual because to get your own individual means that I can't grab hold like a crab in the barrel, what they properly call it, a crab in the barrel. And once you grab the crab in the barrel, you don't want to let it go. No, you ain't better than me. You know, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger. I'm aggressively. I'm more outgoing than you are, and everything else. But they don't understand. It's the mindset why the individual was able to get out. It was a determination to want a better life, and so however you come across people, interact with people, and that people get a chance to see who you are, where you really coming from. But you know, some of our people don't seem to understand that. It's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. And the worst criticism that you'll hear before you hear from a racist person, a bigoted person, is it come from your own people that look like you in your own skin color. They'll come at you more hard than a racist person. That's the truth. And what they say? Why are you talking like that? You ain't supposed to be talking like that. You know, you trying to be different. You know, oh, you know, they you can see the jealousy, the envies come up out of them within a minute, within a second. And I've seen it on different people's platform, on YouTube, whatever. You know, well-known commentators. Whenever someone do something, you'll have somebody come in there and they got some issues. They guess that to them in their own reality is not keeping it real. They're trying to do something better and something different because they're trying to get to a point that maybe they can go back and get some individuals who want to come up out of their environment. But they don't want that. They want them to keep them down in that environment and keep we all a bunch of ends, so we might as well just stay a bunch of ends. But I love you though, but you still my end. You know, it's like what kind of philosophy when you listen to some people like that, like how can you love your people but put down your people at the same time? I try to wrestle with that myself. I just don't get how someone can be proud to be and speak something negative and knowing that you see what you speak negative can happen to a person. It can draw negativity. And I've seen it time and time again. Whatever you speak, that's the one thing we learn. Like some people don't think about when they come to the church. Sometimes some churches, some pastors be on it. I heard a pastor laid out a message because whatever you speak out in the atmosphere, you form. Whatever you speak out, it takes flight and it takes note. You speak something negative come out. You speak something positive come out. And it's the truth. So I don't know when it comes to African Americans, Black people, I don't know why we do what we do. I don't know why we see the injustices and we can see 100 different things injustice against us, but we'll ride against each other before we ride against the ones who is oppressing us with the justice system. And I just don't. And I bet you it puzzles some black people too. Why don't we don't like each other? Why we? It's because, and I've come to the conclusion that one is going to feel that if one sell each other out for a coin, you have some people sell you out so that they can get something better. But in the end, they're gonna find themselves in the same boat as the person they sold that person out to. And then you won't get no respect from people that you sold, from the people you sold them out to. They won't even respect you because they see that you conniving and you're spiteful. So how can they trust you? And some people who like to stab people in the back, they don't understand that. That's the truth. And then another thing is just some people just don't want to see other people do better. That they want, because every human being will want something better in their own life. And so however you get to it, how you brings you to a different environment. So your actions and the way you speak, the way you conduct yourself, because however your talent, whatever it may be, will bring you riches, break down doors and barriers where you can come across people from all walks of life, from all parts of the world, all parts of the country. And that's what it comes down to. That I believe you're one of those people that, and I think this goes to people who have been well traveled, been around all different type of people. They can relate to this message that it changes you from where you start at and where you're present and where you're going. Because how you struggle from the beginning like most people, but it came to a determination. You want something better for yourself, so it brought you to a better environment of people from all walks of life who how they respect you, who like you, whatever. And it's just sad that when people, that some of our people who see some of our people go through this, they think they don't even know the whole story, what they went through to get to there. They don't know the struggles. They might have come across some discrimination, even though they're in a better environment and speaking like they of that environment, but yet there's people in that environment assume that they are intellectually a threat because they aren't in that environment. And just because some people find them a threat because of what their skin tone look like and what their perception of it is, and then see if you don't agree with them, you must agree with the people that opposes them. So it's not easy on both ends. How the way you talk and how the way you speak, but most of the time, people who people see speak intellectually and talk like you, basically comes down, talk like you got some sense. That's what it comes down to. So people can understand where you're coming from. If I talk with some jib jobbers or whatever, no one's going to understand what I'm talking about. And it's really sad that there's some people that don't want to change. They might, who knows, it could have opportunities to change. So you can take the person out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the person. And I mean, and they'll bring that same environment that's over no matter where they go. Even if they go to another part of the world, they'll keep that same environment. So sometimes some people are left where they're at. There's some people that are willing to change, and there's some people are not willing to change. You should just leave them right where they're at. If they're a hood-minded person, they're a negative-minded person, leave them where they're at. I mean, just pray for them. That's my advice. If you want to do a person a favor like that, leave them where they're at. Don't take them to an environment because they don't know how to act. They're gonna be uncomfortable. Some people they think that that's their perception, and the world has to come to their perception on where they're coming from. But what some people intellectually may not understand what the heck they talking about, which is crazy. And I'm glad that God has blessed me to be a blessing to go into different environments, meet individuals who I'm able to communicate and talk to and represent. And we come to our people, represent a right, represent what my ancestors didn't die for me to keep talking jib jabberish, keep me like talking like what being illiterate. My ancestor, somebody who died in my ancestry, want me to go be better, and it's too bad that some black people they can't see that they can't even picture because that's what your ancestors want you to do, even though that they didn't have don't want you to be trapped in the same boat that they are in and the same mindset that they were in. Our grandparents or parents or whatever, they want us to do better. Every group, every generation wants to see the next generation represent better. And that's I'm proud of being a Black American person. That they want to represent being better, represent the part that this they might start out being uneducated, not willing to read well, has coping skills well because of what was put on top of them. But just come out of a people who come today as a people, and how the way talk and how the way speak. Well, it's just about surviving. It's just the way how wherever part of the world you go to, you have to talk in order to able to communicate with people. You can't keep some jabber slang in whatever language you speak in because no one they're gonna look at you like you're stupid. They're gonna look at you like you're crazy. What some people deem as improper, and I think that's speaking improper don't mean that you're trying to be like the dominant race, as they said, the dominant people of the planet, just simply by the color of their skin. It means that it means that you're representing your family. That show that what your mama, your grandmama, your grandparents instilled the education in you, are you you're able to articulate your sentences and in the way you speak well, so people understand where you're coming from. That means a lot when you go out here in the world of work and business and everything else. But you talk like somebody, hey man, I'm just some dude off the street, man. I gotta give me some. Nobody understand what the heck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what you're saying, and they don't even know what you're saying. So it's sad that some people don't have proper speaking skills. They didn't mean. I mean, that's what I'm using an example, man. That some people that they really don't. They don't. They talk like they just don't have no sense. And you wonder, did this person go to school or did they graduate from elementary school or what? I mean, it is the truth. You have some people like that. They just, and I don't know, is it the weed that took their mind with the alcohol or substance abuse or something that kind of got them talking a certain way or acting a certain way or what? But they're not able to really communicate with somebody really well, let alone come across somebody from someone who's trying to learn the language, trying to learn how to speak the language in order to communicate and get ahead where you at right now. So that's why the way it works out the way it does. And so I just want to chime in on this tonight because I heard someone speak about this, and I've been a victim of that. People accuse me of talking proper. It's like talking proper. That's what made me want to talk about the subject. Like, what's talking proper? I can't. My ancestors been in this country for almost 400 years. What the heck are you talking about? I can't talk like I got some sense. And this ain't somebody who's white or Caucasian saying this. You got somebody black saying this. I mean, sometimes it's like somebody white have the common sense enough to know. Most people have a common sense enough to know that that's the way you talk. That's the way you represent you represent yourself. But it's sad when you have your own people put you down just because you're trying to articulate yourself a lot better, especially if you're using social media and reaching out to different people in dark parts of the world and across the country. They don't want to jib jab, no shame, I'm going to kill on a kilo with the killing. If I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I mean, there's some people talk like that, man. It's like, what the fuck they talking about? What language is that? I never heard that dialect, that language before. It ain't none. It's not even pig Latin. I mean, what is it? And so it's really sad because some people, that's why some people are backwards because of what the way they spoke and what the environment was. And it means a lot when you try to get ahead in this world. It really does. You can't get no job. You probably can't get a better place, and then you end up in an environment in a poverty environment because the way you speak. Then you have someone get somebody to speak for you because you can't put a sentence together in a conversation without cussing. People, you know those people that cuss a lot too. I mean, they can't say nothing without cussing. They cuss, 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 cuss. They mf this and f every other word, and g damn this and everything else. They can't really express themselves in a decent, ordinary manner, and it's really sad. It's really sad when you come across individuals like that. I just shake my head like, wow, man, and you got to pray for them. Some people like that, you got to pray for them, and sometimes I really don't be around individuals like that because they, it's like high and by. I'm keeping on going. I keep on stepping because everybody wants to be in an environment that will bring you success, and whoever you associate you, whoever's in your atmosphere, whoever you talk to, you become whatever it is. Whoever you associate, if you want some better thinking people and speaking people and intellectual people, regardless of what education and what background they come from, if they got a goal or something to go with, they got to go something. You will succeed with these people. I mean, God bless if the ones who do have the education, the ones that do who have the resource and the finances. But that's the only. If you don't speak right, you don't talk right. These people they'll hear you and they'll ignore you, go the other way. In most cases, that they won't think highly of you. They won't think really intelligent of you. I'm just saying if you don't, and so that's for the people. And I made this video because for people who talk. This is one of the issues people don't like to talk about, but it's a problem in the Black community in America today, and it could be why in some cases some people are on a high employment rate, or it could be in some case that you find some reason for them to discriminate against you because of that. I mean, they can discriminate against you because that feeds into that stereotype, like you can't speak, so these people, they're irrational, they can't talk, they can't hold a sentence or whatever. So these are bad people, and they lump other people in that same group as the same thing. It's not always the case, and it's just that then the individuals that can't get ahead because they can't talk worth a damn. And so that's what I encountered, and I really didn't want no woman. If I was ever dating or if I decided to settle down, get serious, I want no one to talk crazy like that. I can't hold a sentence, can't talk whatever like that. I want somebody that can talk like they got some sense. It's not about how educated you are. It's just using common sense, how the way you would talk toward an ordinary human being. No matter if it's a Black woman or any other woman. It's just when it comes to that category. As long as they talk like they got some sense, it's hard to find someone that talk like they got some sense. Because they like people like dysfunction, and so dysfunction brings dysfunction. If you be around dysfunctional people, you're going to have dysfunctional relationships. I'm just saying, and I have been around people that's dysfunctional, and I didn't stay around them too long. I just got away from them as quick as possible because that's not my personality, and I'm completely opposite of it. And I'm not going to let their personality dominate my personality and make myself feel insecure or feel uncomfortable. If I feel uncomfortable, then I got to cut you loose. And if you want to entertain that kind of mess, I'm a kind of person, I cut that loose. I don't want to be around ignorant people. I'm to the point in my life, as you get older, you see things a little bit different. And you hope that people will model after you, that they want to be around a better environment, regardless of what they look like or what background. if they come from a poverty background, but they want something better when it comes to whatever your income or whatever educational status, that should not limit you to what you want something better for yourself. You should want to be around something better because you attract what you speak. Whatever you attract, you and that's so true. You speak something, it will come to pass. You know, you want a better house, a better home, a better environment, you attract it. But you kind of person that speaks negative and speak all hood and haul downward, then you gonna fall right into that trap. And I'm a kind of person, I don't want to be around someone like that. I'm a kind of person I would like to track intellectual people, and don't. That's what I would like. Like whatever God get people that they can come to my life, I can be a blessing to them. They can be a blessing to me. That's what it's about. That you become that blessing, you become that connection. That's what communication is about when it comes to our people. It comes to any people, but I'm speaking about our people. You know, that's the only way you could come out. And God wants us to come as the people out of that environment. So we could, because we are the people that's chosen to set apart, to bring the other nations and nationalities so they can, hear what the wisdom and inner wisdom that Black people have. Black people have strong inner wisdom that we have. Some of us have some strong wisdom. Some of us is brilliant in the mind. I've heard some people like blow me away, man. And that we have the inner wisdom that God has gifted us with as a people, and that's what we need to shine on that, and I hope have more representation of, instead of playing out the ignorant and giving into the ignorant. Don't let no other culture play into the ignorance and keeping your culture ignorant. And that's what I would love to see. And by telling you that you're not acting the stereotype way, act the stereotype way. Look your pants sag down. Look, speaking proper English. And no, I mean, it's just, no, I'm not giving it to the stereotype. I said my ancestors did die in the swamps of Mississippi, to Georgia, whatever, for me to be talking slang, to keep me in the slang. They wanted me to be the representation to move forward, and that should be every African American Black person. They didn't die for you to be lynched to keep acting ignorant, to keep talking dysfunctional. Some did die in just cause for you to be in that condition. They want Black people who were slaves was looking for in the future that the descendants would be in the future will be a lot better condition that they was. So why represent right? That's all what I'm saying. So my name is James. I hope you like this video, because it's time to bring common sense and make sense, because that's who we are. It's time to step up, because we are the people of God. We want the people that have been through hell and high water, like one of the groups of people in this country. It's time for us to get some respect, and I want more Black Americans like myself to get more respect. And the ones that need to stop putting each other down and stop saying stupid stuff to each other, like, why are you speaking white? Why are you speaking properly white? When you the people who you posing who is white, who you aberration, who you can't stand, but at the same time you give them giving them a prop up, saying that they're better than you. And that's the truth. Like people that I don't know you heard on YouTube, but they use the word white supremacy. And someone made a good point. When someone say you talk about white supremacy, you basically saying that a person who was white, who was prejudiced, is supreme being than you. And so you call it white because the supreme means a higher being, and that's it. That means you're better. So when they use that terminology, that's what they're doing. So people are like, why are they saying that, calling it white supremacy? And somebody, let them keep that they were supreme beings to them. I mean, they keep using that word, and someone made a good point. I said, yeah, that dude made a good point there. So, hey, watch what you speak, because whatever you come out your mouth, you speak what you say, and it takes form. and then you put on a generation of yourself, but put on kids and your kids that's going down the line speaking that. So words, what I'm saying is that words are very powerful. Actions are powerful. Words come with action, comes with power. That's the truth. And the way you present yourself, represent yourself, that's how people gonna see you. It's the truth. And so that's why you should never tell another person how the way they should talk, because they talking right in order to survive in this world, in order to get ahead in this world. Ain't nothing wrong with getting ahead in this world, by all means necessary. I mean, but do it the right way. You don't want to go about the wrong way, the fast way, in a real quick way, can then you in jail or prison or the grave. So you don't want to go that direction. So why not? Why? So if you're a black person, you ever hear this video, it's all right to be different. It's all right. It's all right to be. It's cool. If you're a nerd, you're a nerd. If they think you square, you're square. So what? But then you might get more farther ahead than ones some people in your own same skin color. Whatever it will be. Don't. You can't help where your parents raised you, because they raised you in a better environment, so you can get ahead.